don't forget, so these are, a lot of these are as well from Twitter, so make sure you, don't forget, you can also send me recommendations on there as well, anything you like me. Alright, let's do it.
Eastern game
I'm gonna be completely. First of all, I will say this right off the bat, as somebody who's been playing a lot of Zenless Zone Zero lately, and has been a big fan now. I gotta be with it. I didn't even realize there was a boycott happening. This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Eastern game developer Ayoo has had a call for boycott for whitewashing and cultural appropriation in their games, like namely Genshin Impact. However, this has not gone anywhere. People are learning that, maybe these activists on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, aren't real. They don't reflect real life. You know, maybe these queerdos and woke activists are just on the internet and shouldn't be pandered to. So let's go ahead and dive into this story today. So here you have their change.org petition to stop cultural appropriation by whitewashing in MiHoYo games. Now, apparently this is even some English, Genshin Impact English voice actors are also accusing the game of whitewashing and racism, taking inspiration from other cultures, but whitewashing it. So they started this.
What do you
They're
mean,
calling
though?
out
What,
different, taking inspiration from other cultures.
I don't get it, because they're getting mad at MiHoYo for not being accurate to their culture, but they were also, weren't they, wasn't there just a huge freaking, like, a lot of people were getting really mad because, of Yunlin, and I remember seeing this when I was, like, looking up, stats about Yunlin. Check it out. Freaking A. So because Yunlin, her character model, as you can see here, she wears no shoes. She's like no shoes, nothing. So she's in her bare feet, and people got really mad about that, even though the style of like the like inspiration they took for her was for like a specific type of dancer, and in those dances you have to dance without shoes. That's how the dance is done. It's done without shoes. So it's like, even when they're getting things correct to the culture, people are getting mad at them. People get mad at them for doing things the way it's supposed to be. People get mad at them for not doing things the way they're supposed to be. There's no freaking winning.
But whitewashing it. So they started this. They're calling out a couple different characters from Genshin Impact as examples, and they, through this boycott, which they do have over 100,000 signatures, they want the solution for MiHoYo to engage with indigenous cultural consultants. Okay, they want them to get Sweet Baby inked. Revise existing content to ensure accurate representation. Commit to creating diverse and inclusive characters.
Why do you want MiHoYo? Like, it's not that it's a bad thing. I like, yeah, we definitely want more inclusivity. We definitely want more diversity. But why are you playing Genshin Impact then? Like, let me just show you something. Let's look up the Genshin Impact roster sheet. Roster. Freaking A, that's a lot of characters. Okay, how many freaking Genshin characters are there? What the frick? Alright. I mean, take a look, right? Actually, this dude's pretty dark. We got, like, pretty dark skin, I would say. Pretty dark skin, I would say. I don't know what their culture is or what their inspirations are, but I say they look pretty dark. Definitely, Candace here is definitely in the lighter skin side for sure. They a little bit tanned. Sinnoh looks just a little bit tanned. So agreed, definitely need some more diversity here. However, here is my counter argument. How about you stop playing Genshin if you want more? If you want more diversity, stop playing Genshin, and you can instead play one of my a favorite gacha game. Not Arc, idiot. Let's do the full Is this a list of all the characters? No, just the 6 stars. Is there not a list of, like, all of them? I freaking hate these wikis, dude. What website was this? Genshin.gg. Yeah, well, that's like freaking dedicated to that. Alright, you know what? Let's do, how about just an image? Yeah, this is as good as I'm gonna get for now. But meanwhile, we definitely have darker skinned characters here that you see a lot more of. Where's one of my favorite dudes who was there like since launch? The freaking bull dude. This guy, the bull man. Like, there's other games that have a lot more diversity, that like an inclusion that you could probably play instead. But I never see anybody going out to play these games. Admittedly, probably not as much as people would like or want. But, like, there are other games that have way more diversity, way more inclusion that you could be playing. But you seem to be stuck on this one.
Sake of all these DEI characters, diversity.
Like if you wanted to send a message, you could just stop playing their game altogether and go play one of the other games that actually has a lot more diversity. You know, but let's see how many active Genshin players are right now. Have like let's see, let's find out. I don't know how haven't used this website before. So I don't know how accurate this is. But 60 million monthly active viewers. Like they don't seem to be struggling. Nobody has boycotted them, apparently. Or at least I'm not seeing the effects of it.
For the sake of diversity, we've seen this ruin games in the West, namely, like crazy. So can we just stop with this crap? But anyway, as reported by Niche Gamer here, the Hoyoverse boycott fails miserably. Zenless Zone Zero earns nearly $100 million.
100 million!
So the ongoing boycott against Hoyoverse, the developer behind...
For Zenless? On what? On Zuyuan?
Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and Zenless Zone Zero has failed spectacularly, as Zenless Zone Zero raked nearly $100 million in July alone, right after launch. I mean, that's a huge launch. $100 million in July. But see, all the Genshin players moved to Zenless Zone. See, so as long as they don't play Genshin, it's fine. organizers through a change.org petition accuse Hoyoverse of cultural appropriation and whitewashing. The petition
Thing is, especially in like Honkai Star Rail, there are definitely certain characters that are very dark skinned that that are NPCs that you're like, this could easily be a
which
you know what I mean?
currently
This could
has
easily be a
over
character.
104,000 signatures, accuse their games of cultural appropriation and whitewashing, while also demanding the developer commit to accurate representation of all cultures. Why can't games just be fun? Especially in these universes, they're making up their own universes. This is theirs. So it's not real. It's not them falsely representing a culture. It's them making their own. Let them make it how they want to make it.
And that is another thing that I feel like a lot of people also forget, is that even though they're inspired by real cultures, they're not intended to be the actual real cultures either.
So, in particular, the many characters.
I've never looked at Wuthering Waves and been like, oh yes, all Chinese people are governed by a magistrate, and that is governed by a dragon. You know, like I never like look at Wuthering Waves like, ah yes, the epitome. This is the prime example of what Chinese culture is. Like I don't know, you know what I mean?
From Sumeru and Natlin in Genshin Impact, and from Penacony in Honkai Star Rail, are all clearly white or only lightly tanned at best, with the exception
all the characters from Penacony, like two of them, like well, I mean, not two of them. There's Robin, there's Acheron, there's Firefly. I guess Dr. Ratio. Was Dr. Ratio also Penacony edition, or was he before? Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I would definitely like to see a little bit more dark-skinned waifus. That's for sure. 100%. Some dark-skinned husbandos. We got, what is his name? No, even Gallagher's like as white as it gets, huh? But I'm just saying, yeah, we got Arlen, basically, and that's about it. That's all we got. We got Arlen. And bro lives in space, so it's like, what sun is he getting? So it's not a tan, that's his natural skin. Yeah, everyone else is white, even Gallagher. I don't know why I thought Gallagher was, like, lightly brown. Who the frick is this? But I don't know. I just, like, to me at least, like, what's MiHoYo? What comic me? They live in Shanghai, China, bruh. Like, you get me? Like, as far as I'm concerned, they're probably. I'm just saying. Anytime I see a character in a Hoyoverse game, like this dragon dude, I just assume it's a Chinese person with dragon feature. You get me? I just assume it's a Chinese person. I don't really like, since the company's from China, I don't really like sit there and just be like, oh, obviously this is obviously a British woman, and this is obviously this is a I don't freaking know, an Indian man. Like, I don't sit here being like, oh, well, okay, well, this is obviously Korean. Like, I don't freaking sit here like freaking like, oh, wow, yes, like, what, like, why? Why does that matter? I feel like the people that complain the most about inclusivity are the people that like focus the most on skin. It's like, why, like, let's make a gacha game that's good, that has more dark skinned people. Let's do that instead.
Of some enemy NPCs, the latter of which has sparked concerns of racism among players.
To be fair though, I would, since Zenless has like so few characters, let's freaking add some dark skinned characters. But to be fair, ever since like let's look at freaking what is it, Ubisoft, with the whole situation with Assassin's Creed, like, companies that are not being controlled by DEI and like Sweet Baby Inc., they really just want to stay the freak away from all that, bro. Nobody wants to deal with that. That's just that's just a Western Western culture thing. Like nobody else nobody else in the rest of the world really wants to deal with that or really be involved too much with that stuff. They don't want to touch it. They'd rather just make the game, make waifus, and then make people who want to bang those waifus spend money on those waifus. You get me? Like it's not that difficult.
In indigenous communities. The petition further declares cultural appropriation and whitewashing perpetuate harmful stereotypes and diminish the rich cultural heritage of indigenous communities.
And don't get me wrong, I want to see like if Hoyoverse ever comes out like, hey everyone, checked it, like as far as I'm like the closest Latino Mexican representation I have here, BS aside, not even joking. The closest thing we have is Boot Hill, because he's a cowboy. And for those who don't know, Mexicans were cowboys. A lot of Mexicans were cowboys. Back when we were here in California, and it was called, when Texas was called Mexico, there were a lot of cowboys. A lot of Mexican cowboys. Vaqueros, we called them. So this is as close as we got. I'll be completely honest with you. But if there is a Latino, a Mexican in a Hoyoverse, I'll be the first one to drop like I'll actually genuinely drop money on the game at that point. Like I'll actually like pull for that character, especially if it's a Latina waifu. Are you kidding me? I'll freaking go wild all the way. Let's get a Latina waifu in Zenless. Let's go.
Represent cultures, but also contribute to ongoing marginal.
I'm just saying, if she's gonna be in Honkai, like, I'm not saying nothing, but she has to be a destruction type. I'm just saying. Anyway, she's gotta be a fire destruction type. I'm just saying. Anyway,
and disrespect.
Feisty Latina, fiery Latina. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
MiHoYo to get yes, this is where they want them to get the Sweet Baby Inc. treatment.
I just sort of assume that
like
if a game is coming from China,
oh my goodness,
I just sort of assume that it's gonna have some Chinese influence and that the culture there is gonna be influencing this game. I don't play a Korean video game or go watch I didn't go to watch the movie Old Boy and like get surprised when the entire cast in Old Boys is all Koreans. Like what freaking what, this is crazy. You're telling me there's not a single African American man in this Korean film? You get me?
Baby Inc. has been responsible for the failure of some games with massive budgets that tanked because of Sweet Baby Inc.'s woke consultation and involvement. All right, so yeah, they want to do all this stuff. In addition to this petition, an X account called HYV Boycott also declares, I think it's safe to say that we have all had enough of the erasure of our cultures and identities. Today, I introduce you all to Boycott Hoyoverse. We will be an account sharing how you can boycott. Spread the word. Anything helps. Then don't play this game. Play a game that represents your culture if you can only play games that represent your culture, which is stupid. Yeah. But
what's that one game that recently came out that's like super DEI? What is it? Discord or Discourse? Discourse game. I think it's a game called Discourse. Like, that's a live service. No, not Discourse. Not that one. It's not that one. It's not that one. What is it freaking called? Nah, it's some live service game that just came out. Bro, is it like gone for the internet? Did they like wipe it out? Or was it not called Discord? Discourse? Back to Discourse. Screw it. I'll see if I remember what freaking game it was called. But it was some weird one. Oh, you know what? I can find it this way. Really? You're not gonna give me a list? Can I get a list? Diablos, No Man's Sky. No, 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 no. This one. That one. Is it that one? Where does that one come from? The bucket head looking thing. No. Is that it? I don't think it is. I think it's like Fortnite or something. They all look the same at the end of the day. That's the problem. This one. What's that one called? Concord. I thought it was Discord. I couldn't. I'm sorry. I legit forgot what the frick it was called. And I've seen gameplay of it. Why is there a plate on my freaking screen? What the frick is it? I'm gonna get canceled. This one's like super inclusive and diverse. Like this is one of the characters you can play as. She's got pom-poms in her hair. Really nice. Really cool looking. You got a scaly man. You got wannabe Drax. Doom Girl. Why are you wearing lipsticks if you're gonna be wearing a helmet? Or is that not a helmet? Does it not close? Oh, I don't think it closes. Well, that's stupid. That's a terrible design. Why wouldn't you, like, close it and give her, like, a really badass looking mask? Like Darth Vader or something. Anyhow, point is, there's a lot of really, lot of inclusion and diversity in this one. Like, a lot of inclusion and diversity. So I think you should play that game and, like, stop playing Genshin Impact. Yes, I think that's the correct decision. Yeah, that's the answer. Or you should go play Assassin's Creed. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Master Sam. You should go play Assassin's Creed, or the new one when it comes out. Pre-order it. Go get it.
Like, it doesn't have
Like,
to
put your money
be
where your
this
mouth is. That's all you gotta
Play
do.
what you like, and all this stuff that does do what you want them to do, especially for the sake of it. They're
And I'm allowed to say this. I haven't spent money on any Hoyoverse. Not in Genshin. Not in Honkai. Not in Zenless. I haven't spent a single dime, so I can judge and criticize anybody I want.
So you might need to help them.
I will. I reserve the right to spend at least $60.
Support their stuff.
Okay,
Because
I feel like that's fair.
As a trend
For a gacha game, that's fair.
It doesn't do so well.
As long as I've gotten
so
my
well.
hours worth of enjoyment out of the game.
All of the DEI, Sweet Baby Ink stuff, not faring well at all. The account adds, there has been a distinct lack of darker skin tones represented in the game. Characters from these cultures are actively...
First of all, yeah, Koreans definitely take the xenophobic award. Korea has, like, the longest running slavery... Like, they have the longest running history of, like, slavery in, like, together. Like, the longest time, like, out of anyone. They had the most slaves for a long time. No, there's a way to say this. Hold on. They had the longest running organization of slave ownership. Like, for any country. They had slaves for the longest time. So they definitely win, for sure, as far as xenophobia. Japan was xenophobic, but only to the, like, they definitely were xenophobic, but at least from what I've read and seen, they were xenophobic to the point where it was like, you could hang out with us. It's just that you were definitely a lesser person, and that was to everybody. It didn't matter if you were black. It didn't matter if you were white. It didn't matter, like, if you were Mexican, because there were samurais in Mexico as well that would, like, go visit. Like, you were just lesser. Period. If you were a Mexican, if you were if you were whatever the frick else you. So if you were Japanese, you were just lesser. Like, it's just flat out what it was. You know that they and even if you were Japanese, if you were, like, half Japanese, and this exists to this day, if you're half Japanese, that's still, like, looked down upon to this day. If you doubt it, freaking look at the pot kettle herself, Henya. Like, she received a lot of bullying in her youth for that exact issue. Living in Japan in modern day, so it's like it's not even necessarily that it's like that the place is xenophobic. I feel like that's not even the main issue with the Assassin's Creed game. The main issue with the Assassin's Creed game is that every single Assassin's Creed game, they're like, hey, we're in America, let's give you a Native American. Hey, we're in Egypt, let's give you an Egyptian. Hey, we're in Britain, let's give you a British person. It's meant to celebrate the place and the location and everything about that place. You're meant to be, like, deep in the roots of the culture and the vibe and the thing. If it's supposed to be in Mexico, you're supposed to be a Mexican eating Mexican food and tacos and firing a 6-shooter as an Assassin's Creed weapon. Like it's gotta be it's gotta be full Mexican. Like his main weapon should be a machete. You feel me? Like it's gotta be Mexico. Like there's gotta, I need to feel it. Mother Emperor better have a sombrero and a poncho. Like I'm freaking pissed off if he doesn't. But when suddenly we get to Japan and it's like, nah, screw you. Nah, you don't get to play as a Japanese strongman. You yeah, Greece gets it, and so do the Vikings, and so do the Egyptians, and so do the Israelis, and so does everybody else, but not you, Japan. You don't get it. Which is like a big problem because there's already been like a huge thing of like people not taking Asian racism as strongly as other forms of racism here, especially in America. It's like it's been a pretty big issue, pretty big problem. It's been one of those things where there's like a lot of attention for that stuff, and I don't mind saying it because I'm frankly I'm Mexican and I'm not in that beef. It's not my beef. I'm over here wondering whether more of my people are gonna get stuck behind the border or not. But it's not like it matters to me. I'm already here in California. Anyway, point being, I just gotta say that even if whether you agree or disagree with any of the race stuff, any of the DEI stuff, any of the other stuff, it just feels very disingenuous for them to like have a very, very set like pattern where it's like you're in Egypt, so it's gonna be an Egyptian person in Egypt. You're gonna live through the Egyptian culture. You're gonna see how an Egyptian man, an Egyptian assassin would like function and work in that society. But we get to Japan and you gotta like make up a bunch of stuff and lie and like use a book as your evidence, a book that's fake that the guy made up everything on. And then on top of that, you gotta like do all that while pretending to care. Meanwhile, and I'll say this again, I've said it many times, like let's take a quick look. Let's say Ubisoft. What is it called? Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's made by Quebec, Ubisoft Quebec. You tell me, what is the dev team gonna look like to you? Is it gonna be? Oh, that's not a. Oh, I don't see a lot of. I don't see a lot of Yasukes here. There's not a lot of Yasukes in here, is there? Well, that's okay. Well, let's see. Maybe there's more pictures with more Yasukes over here. Let's see. Oh, I don't freaking have a Facebook. Get out of here. Let's see if there's any Yasuke. Oh, they got one Yasuke. He's like over here, separated from the entirety of the rest of the group for some reason. Why is he standing by himself over here? Actually. Like he's sort of just hanging. But you know what? Point. They got one. They got one. They got. So you get what I'm saying. So they're over here advocating that they're over here fighters for the goodness of colored individuals, African Americans. Meanwhile, they put an African American man in Japan and gave him hip hop music, which is a very American thing, not a Japanese thing, not an African thing. Very American thing, hip hop. Very, very American thing to make hip hop the theme song. Just saying, has nothing to do with Japan. Has nothing to do with Africa, which is where they're saying, oh, but Yasuke came from, he came over from Africa and he was a freaking whatever the frick. Okay, cool. Then why are you putting hip hop? Like, how is that not the most racist thing ever? Like. Oh, he's Japanese? Yeah, but his skin is dark, so he likes hip-hop. He's gotta be hip-hop, right? Because his skin is dark? It's like, how is that not the most racist thing here? Are you kidding me? What? That's insane! That is absurd! Basically... They're pretty much preaching that there should be more inclusion, more diversity, more all this other stuff. But meanwhile, None of that. There's no diversity in the company itself. How are you gonna if I'm just saying maybe cancel me if you will, but I'm just saying if they had more black people in the studio, at least one person would have been like, are we really gonna do hip hop? Like at least one, you feel me? Would have been like, is hip hop the right this is not very I just feel like somebody would have just been like, this is a little racist right now. You got a very tall black man murdering a bunch of comparatively short Japanese men who are skinnier and weaker than him, and he's murdering them to a hip hop background, just in the middle of Japan in a village, and literally every single Japanese person, man, woman, and child bows down as soon as the black man shows up, Even it's just like, yes, Japan. Nihon. Beautiful. That's just
being heavily referenced but are being whitewashed. This is especially noticeable in
now, all of this has nothing to do with, of course, the MiHoYo situation, but it all comes back to me saying the same thing. It seems like there's a lot of people that are saying one thing, but they're doing the complete opposite. I call these, they have a word, they have a saying, they're called slacktivists. See, when they actually say something, but don't actually do the thing that they're preaching. Selectivism,
in
selectivists.
not only Sumeru and Netland, but also in
now this is the worst
nations.
kind of selectivism.
These practices,
because all you gotta do is not play a video game
cultures, but
that you disagree with. Play a different game.
Ongoing marginalization and disrespect.
But they can't do that, can they? They just gotta give more money to their waifus,
causing even more harm than good.
$100 million to Zenless Zone, was it?
Of individuals who are a part
hypocrisy.
of
Oh, that's a strong word. That's a strong word. It fits. It's accurate, but it's a strong word. Yeah, no, it definitely fits here, but I'm just saying. And that's what I don't understand. It's I am 110% all for more inclusivity. I am 110% for more, I'm 100% in for more gay main characters. I'm 100% in for more colored gay main characters. I'm 100% more for female main characters. Nobody was complaining about Lara Croft. Nobody was complaining about, sorry, I forgot her name because I don't have a PlayStation. I didn't have a PlayStation at the time. I still don't. I freaking can't play it. Horizon Zero Dawn, the first one at least. Nobody complained about, Alloy, there we go. I was gonna call it Titanium. Titanium! Sorry, right, Rihanna's in my head right now. Anyway, I am totally down for all of that. And you know how we know we're down for all that? Because I freaking watch, every anime I watch is a female protagonist. I'm all in. I rarely ever watch, unless it's an isekai harem thing, in which case it's typically a male. But for the most part, all the freaking animes I watch are female leads. Always. So it's nobody has a problem with any of this. Everyone has a problem with the way that you're doing it. That's it. That's the problem.
Dated. Several voice actors have also voiced their
yelling
support
at us.
For Boycott. And
Wow.
Gatko, who
Doing
voices
the worst things
Shogun
yourself.
in Genshin Impact, posted, I really hope that a video game company listens to its fan base when valid criticism is made multiple years in a row about the execution of its research and inclusion of elements/aspects of other cultures. Here's the thing about voice actors is a lot of them are very woke, but then there's some of them who aren't that have to stay quiet because
Shout out, I'm a voice actor, hit me up. I don't really stay quiet, but I don't really rustle any feathers, unless it's but I also don't spout BS. If it's facts, it's facts. I just sort of gonna say it like it is.
Voice actors, especially,
but I'm not gonna get y'all in trouble for nothing.
Getting canceled.
I'm a cool monkey.
It happens.
Kakui,
so
monkey.
Yeah, a lot
monkey
of them
death.
feel like they have to be quiet, or you have this vocal one here on the woke brigade,
Kakui,
right?
monkey
And you see
desu.
these 24,000 likes. See all of this 6,000 likes here and stuff, but does this actually translate? Not really. Whenever you're seeing actual success for this company. Albedo voice actor Koi Dao also shared on X, if a game draws so heavily from real-world cultures and bases a character on the supreme deity of Yoruba religion, and that character ends up looking like pale Sasuke Batman, people are absolutely within their rights to demand better representation, especially when said game has a clearly stated commitment to a global audience. He added, I hope y'all keep making y'all keeping
I'm gonna let her finish here before I say my piece here,
make your voices heard, and I hope they listen.
all right, now before she gives me her like that, I just gotta say maybe it's a weird thing because I have a lot of Mexican family, a lot of Salvadorian family, a lot of uh, 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 just Latino family, Spanish as well from Spain. And maybe it's a bit of a weird like thing for me, cause like I just got uncles of all shades. Like I got like dark uncle. Like I mean dark like I've met African American friends that are lighter than my uncles. You understand me? But I also have cousins that are like sour cream pale, bruh. Like I'm talking like they'd get lost in a cloud if there was like a heavy fog rolls in. You actually gotta go looking for the brother. Like my hermano, like he gets lost. And so to us, it's kind of like this thing of like you really like you get me like you can't really tell. You just sort of treat everyone the same and like figure it out based on context clues in the conversation. And I also have cousins that are full blown like if you were to tell like I'm not joking when I say like let's look it up actually. Yeah, you know what? Because there's so many Asian people in Mexico. So many Asian people in Mexico, and like P.S. My grandmother, the exact same haircut. Wow, actually, this lady does remind me of my grandmother so much. Anyhow, point being, there's so many like so. What I'm trying to say here is, whenever I see a character in a particular like again, let's go back to the Yun Lin. Or you know what, even better. Yeah, you know what, yeah, Yun Lin. Like whenever I see someone wearing an outfit like this, like I can understand. Like in my head, I fully understand and comprehend. Oh, this is a character. It's made by a Chinese company, whatever the frick, and the outfit is inspired by a particular dance from a particular culture. Another great example of a character that does the exact same thing. Shantae literally does the exact same thing, but what? Because she's a darker shade, it's okay? She is not like, and to be fair, the freaking game theory, Matt Pat, made an entire like episode on figuring out what the dress and the dance moves that she does is based off of. It is based off of a Middle Eastern dance. And it's like nobody complained, nobody made a deal, nobody made a fuss about this. The fact that she's out here whipping out the booba, just freaking flashing it out to the world, like she should, because she's the heroine that we need. Have she a hero, baby? But what I'm saying is, like, just because they take inspiration for the dances or they take inspiration for the outfits, they live in a fake world. They don't freaking live in the Middle East. The game doesn't take place in the Middle East. That's not how it works. But yes, the land or the areas that they are in definitely get heavily inspired by Middle Eastern countries and Asian countries, as you can see. So it's kind of like it's unfair to be like, oh no, it's like it's unfair. It's unfair. To like get mad if somebody decides, hey, I could make another copy paste Chinese inspired character, or I could make another character, get some influence from this particular culture, and apply it to the character, like Yun Lin, her combat style, the way that she fights, really sort of like you can see how it draws inspiration from the sort of dancing, the way that she moves, all that stuff that she does, which is really cool to see. Even with like March and stuff in her like imaginary form, she also has like a unique fighting style as well. So it's like rather than us being like, you know, positive affirmation, instead of people like, you know, making a big deal. Oh, we got a dark skinned waifu. Let's freaking go. Hoyoverse, more of this, baby. Let's go. Instead of like making a big deal, dropping $1,000. Y'all heard about that whole situation? Bro dropped like 100,000. What is it, like 1 mil? Was it like, was it 100,000? It was like 100,000. On Boot Hill, just to show support. Oh, here we go. Mad Lad who pulled 100 on the Akron DLC. And then he did the same thing for Boot Hill. Bro spent 100. He pulled 100 times. He pulled for Akron and then pulled 100 times for Boot Hill. Y'all understand? He already had Boot Hill at C6. He just wanted to support. He also got the light cone. You don't need this many light cones. At this point, he could C6 one of these light cones and he's fine, but he's still got more. Why do you need so many of the same copy? You only need 6 and it's maxed out. But why? Because he wants to show support for Boot Hill. He likes the character. He's obsessed. Judge him as you will. I judge him, sure. But when actual characters come out that actually give the diversity that we want, nobody drops a bill. Suddenly nobody wants to play the game. Nobody wants to make a video congratulating them and making a big deal. Nobody. I'm not saying that we should be like applauding them. We shouldn't be doing that either. I'm not saying we should be like every single thing they do. Yeah, every single time that they do anything. No, if they do something like trashy, trash them. Talk bad about them. But what I'm saying is, if you want to see more inclusivity, celebrate it and actually go support it. But no, we got the freaking discourse game, whatever the frick it's called. Nobody played the game. Nobody played the freaking game. Nobody bought it. Nobody played it. Nobody cares about it. Nobody supported it. Because you'd rather complain about it on Twitter than actually go and put your money where your mouth is. Nobody's pulling for these characters. Why is Arlod not the #1 character in Honkai Star Rail right now? Why is he not the meta?
Dude,
just saying.
That's the thing,
just
though,
saying.
is nobody is thinking that Genshin Impact is trying to be realistic. Nobody thinks Genshin Impact is a historically accurate game. It doesn't pretend to be.
No.
Let Genshin Impact
not like Assassin's Creed that does pretend to be historically accurate, and then suddenly says that they're not historically accurate when it's convenient.
have their characters look how they want to have them. The boycott and these actors' complaints seem to have had little to no impact in Hoyoverse's revenue. According to
Overall, Genshin and Honkai grossed $163 million. Everything included now. All Hoyoverses. 177.4 million. They actually had a 0.8 increase on a month-to-month increase
revenue
from June,
Zenless
from
Zone
July.
Zero generated.
And Chingay just dropped. You know damn well as soon as freaking Jane Doe drops, in like 2-3 months, or whatever the freaking day, I think it's like a month or two, people are gonna go wild. They're gonna go nuts for Jane Doe, for the lady with the freaking dumper, with the dumpy. Nah, you crazy, you wildin'. And especially because that one has a freaking Amber, Ambi
dollars from its
drop?
global base in July, totaling 99.8.
They're about to make bank, bro. They're about to make bank. And on top of that, guess who's gonna be the next banner? Like Hoyoverse, you think Hoyoverse cares, bro? You think Hoyoverse cares? Look, what's the next banner? There's gonna be a new Honkai Star Rail. It's gonna have like even more characters. So guess who they're gonna put on the next one? Guess who they're gonna put? Freaking Acheron and Kafka. Ah, freaking! I gotta find that article. They're basically gonna be doing like a new type of banner. They're basically gonna add another banner, similar to Nikke. Nikke has like multiple banners. They're gonna be adding a new type of banner. See, it's this image here. Oh, look, look at this. Look at this. Version 2.4. They're gonna bring Arlen. I better see everybody pulling for Arlen, bro. Only dark-skinned husband, though. Point being, I know for a fact that when they release the Acheron, there's gonna be a lot of pulls. There's gonna be like that one dude with the boot hill. He's gonna pull for Acheron again. Guarantee it. Calling it right now. I can predict the future. I'm Nostradamus. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, so I can tell you in like 3 months that you was wrong. I'm correct. I know this.
Million. Honkai Star Rail.
But I'm not gonna see no freaking Arlen is the meta of Honkai Star Rail in freaking version 2.4. We're gonna go crazy. Nobody's gonna be wilding out on Twitch like pulling for pulling until I get a C6 Arlong.
60 million.
Nobody.
In China, totaling $95.5 million. As for Genshin Impact, it grossed $19.3 million in China and another $18 million globally, totaling $37.3 million. This is also a decrease from June when it grossed $38.5 million in China and $29 million globally, totaling $67.5 million. All right, so while Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact saw a drop, Zenless Zone Zero offset this decline.
Isn't it insane? So they got 55 million from China, 36 from like globally. I want to see just how much of an impact the US has. And here's my point, or here's what I'm trying to like say with this is 55 million just China. Do you think they give do you really think Hoyoverse gives a rat's booty cheek? Left thigh cheek. You think they give a flamingo's beak about what you think about their monetization, their characters, their whatever the frick, anything? You think they care about China? They care about them 55 mil from China, bruh. They care about that 36 globally, maybe. But I want to know what US specifically. Because globally includes the US as well. I'm curious.
Combined. See, this is probably has...
Let me see. By region. That's probably smarter. 11%. 13%. Revenue. Okay, revenue is what we're looking at. 13%. A little bit higher. China is 40%. Japan is almost 30. 27%. USA is 13%. They don't give a rat's... Bro, they don't give a hyena's laugh about you. What the frick you could think about here, bro? Cancel them all day. That's even if you actually can cancel them. None of y'all could actually stay off of Genshin. Y'all freaking like crack addicts trying to get rid. Like y'all trying to like it's like a crack addict trying to boycott crack. How you gonna boycott a crack rock when you a crack addict? You can't do that.
To do with
That's
it as
stupid.
well as a lot of these players.
You're not doing anything.
Of these other games are hopping on Zenless Zone Zero.
Bro, you shivering.
Honkai Star Rail and Genshin
Bro shivering, trying to act like he's cool.
By $85.4 million. However,
bro sweating like I'm cold.
Zenless Zone Zero pulled in nearly $100 million in its first month. Overall, with Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, Hoyoverse grossed $163 million in June. In July, between Zenless Zone Zero,
we'll get to some recommendations,
and Honkai Star Rail.
If you're asking about anything you specifically recommended, again, I got one that you sent that's about a cat. Everything else though, I'm gonna have to take a look at off stream before I watch it. P.S. No music. I get in trouble for music way too much. YouTube is very pissed off at me, and I'm about to lose my channel. If I get one more strike, it's over for me. That's it. They actually delete my channel. So sorry, no music, no nothing that could get me in trouble with YouTube. If YouTube don't like it, it's just not getting reacted to. But that being said, that doesn't mean I'm not gonna watch it. If you don't think before the stream, I looked up my Discord just to see what else was on there if I missed anything, and I didn't listen to Daft Punk before I got on, then you did wrong, because I definitely listened to Daft Punk before I got on. I was like, oh, great recommendation. So I still listen to them. That's a damn fact. I'll probably still watch all of them, but if YouTube will get mad at me, I'm just not gonna do a thing.
$177.4 million. That's an 8.8% increase in revenue.
And that's here or on Mondays. Even though technically here we wouldn't get in as much trouble, but last time Kit got mad at me, and I'm scared now.
Month to month. This is also an increase from May, when Honkai
pissed
Star
off a
Rail
lot of people.
grossed $55 million in China and another $36 million globally, for a total of $91 million. Genshin Impact grossed $30.3 million in China and another $23 million globally, for a total of $53.3 million. Combined, the two games grossed $144 million in May. July's grosses are 23% higher than May's. What do you make of Hoyo versus? All right, so anyway, yeah, there's that.
Yeah, it's like even if it was a successful boycott in the United States, Hoyo wouldn't care. MiHoYo would actually genuinely, even if there was a successful cancellation boycott campaign in the US, I guarantee you they would not care. They would just have to release an extra banner so that China could fill in the gap, or Japan could fill in the gap. You feel me? That's all they gotta do.
Honestly, Genshin Impact, I think, was really fun. But what keeps me from playing Genshin
Impact... I haven't played it, but I heard that it's very similar to Wuthering Waves. And at this point, I will probably end up playing it, if I'm being honest.
Isn't that characters are too white? It's what keeps me from playing it as much as I don't like having...
Frankly, before she says anything, the reason why I haven't gotten into it, you want me to be honest with you? Way too many characters. Because I know that if I start right now, and it's the same reason why I kind of want to drop Nikke, I'm gonna be honest with you, is because I know I'm never gonna get all those characters. Honkai Star Rail is about as far as I'm willing to go when it comes to like too many characters, where I'm like, all right, well, I have through so much blood, sweat, and tears, and no monies, which is stupid. Please, if you're gonna play Honkai Star Rail, if you're gonna play Genshin Impact, if you're gonna play a gacha game, just spend the freaking money, because you're just being fed turds for like no reason if you're a free to play player. I do it because I'm stubborn and I'm persistent. Okay, but if you actually enjoy the game, you actually play it, you actually have a good time with it, I can understand dropping $30 to $60. No, I would never judge anybody for that, because that's how much money I would spend on an indie game or a normal game. And if you get the same amount of hours of enjoyment in game time and play time, and you actually genuinely enjoyed it and had fun, and we're just grinding 24/7, then like it deserves it. Wuthering Waves, I have never once felt like I was grinding. Like I have not felt like I'm Haikai. I definitely have. Nikke, definitely have. Zenless Zone Zero, definitely have. Wuthering Waves, nah. So I can definitely see myself putting in money to Wuthering Waves if I had to pick out of all the gachas right now. Next would be Honkai, purely because I've dedicated so much time, effort into it, and I have such a decent team at this point. At least like one or two teams that are decent. I got Yulin as well. The only thing that would be able to convince me to drop actual cash at this point would be maybe another Firefly rerun banner. Because I would like Firefly rerun banner. I would like Firefly. Or that, or Black Swan. But even then, I'm a broke boy. I don't really have money like that, so it's like even when the banner would show up, it's not like I'd have money to freaking. I wouldn't have money anyways. Well, you get what I'm saying.
Set characters. I wanted to create my own.
Too many characters, bro. I would.
It's literally the only thing that keeps me from playing it right now.
I'd have to play for like 2 or 3 years to get lucky enough to roll for all those characters.
And what all of these activists want is they also are constantly pioneering for the uglification of characters, as we've seen happen a ton in the West. And I can tell you that because that's the thing, is there's always this...
I gotta say though, I do love, one thing I love about Honkai Star Rail, and one thing that's definitely kept me going, that I do not believe is in Wuthering Waves, is the ability to the guaranteed 5 stars. I like the guaranteed 5-star systems. I just wish that the banner characters were also available in some form, way, shape, or form. Because that definitely seems it's definitely, it 100% is pay to win whenever you have all these S plus tier characters that are only available through the banner through actual money, and it's a random chance. And like at that point, I don't care. At a certain point, I'll just give you $5. Just give me the freaking character and give me like 6 copies of it. You get me? Like at a certain point, I'd rather just have it be like freaking what is it? The Rainbow Six Siege. Like I'd rather that at this point than the freaking random chance loot box gotcha freaking mechanic. I'll be honest. I get that there's like the yeah, the doggos are going ham. I get that there's like a whole freaking they're doing something back there. I get that there is like some form of that, but I feel like it's not enough. There should be a little bit more like losers rewards. You get me? Like more opportunities to roll for those high end cards or those high end characters, the SSS banner freaking characters, to make it a little bit more fair. But it is a free to play game, so again, you can only complain so much. But at the same time, it is like there are some things I like, some things I don't like. That's a good discussion for a whole other day. We're gonna this video's gonna be long enough as it is.
Objectifying this character if they make them too cute. So if they start, okay, let's make some of our characters more brown, more tan,
Nicole!
more black, this, that, and the other. Then if they're too cute, it's gonna be oh no, you're objectifying this character. And so what we constantly see.
Yeah, no, it has to be a woman. She has to be fat. She has to be ugly, and she has to be dark skinned. And all right, sure, I guess. All right, that's got it.
Games right now in the West, there's the uglification of characters, including whenever they do add a diverse cast. For some reason, they want to make them as ugly as possible. It's really weird. So I can tell you one thing, these games would be a colossal failure if they implemented those strategies and started uglifying their characters. But hey, looks like they're doing pretty good. They definitely don't need to be listening or paying any attention to this stupid boycott that's not really doing anything. So anyway, there you have it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you want me to read the Bible to you, you can check out my channel, Bible Time with Melanie Mac. Thank you all.
Wait, that is such a freaking out of left field. Wait, what? You have a channel where you read the Bible to people? What? I freaking, all I know her from is like these video game videos and like the whole like. I kept up with her with the Gina Carano situation, which I feel like it was so unfair. See, Gina Carano, that's somebody I feel like Gina Carano should have been the next Mandalorian. Like I feel like that's what they were setting her up for. I was so excited to see her like become like the Mandalorian's like sidekick, like the helper, like to keep coming back. And then when I heard that they're gonna make a female Mandalorian, I'm like, oh, is it gonna be the Gina Carano lady, like this lady, because she's like a ex-stormtrooper and all this cool stuff. But then they were like, oh no, it's someone else entirely different. I'm like, oh okay, and I'm like, I get. So what the frick happened to her? Then I found out about that whole situation. Like, oh, I didn't even realize she wasn't there no more. Oreo, baby, no barkies. What are you barking at? The thing is, he never really barks unless he's like barking at a person, which is like a habit I'm trying to get him out.
Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you next time, and in the meantime, go boom.
I guess. Oh, hold on. I don't want to go yet. Not yet. I guess if you yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I like Melanie Mac's gaming videos and like stuff like that. If you guys are into that stuff, she will literally, if you want to have the great almighty Bible read to you by this woman here. She has a very soothing voice. There you go. Bro, see, I gotta start some ASMR thing. Everybody's doing ASMR. I mean, I know it's not an ASMR, it's like a Bible reading or whatever, but let's be honest, it's ASMR. Bible, like, it's like whatever the frick. You don't listen to audio books because you're trying to freaking catch up on a book. You read it because it's ASMR and you're like, want to hear it. At least headphone users. Anybody who listens to audiobooks on headphones is a weirdo. You listen to it on the car, on the way to work, on your commute, okay? You put on headphones, it's just like somebody whispering in your ears, and I can't handle it. That's just, it don't work. Thanks for hanging out. Like or dislike, comment, and subscribe, and become a Monodachi today! I live stream all day, Monday through Friday, so go say hi! That's all for now, Monos. Goodbye, and thanks for swinging by. Salut!